That old fashioned word. It's a word called love. Call love. Call love. Call love. Oh. Some people hate. I think they lost their minds. Hi, Sunnies. Welcome to Beaming Light. I am Danita. Beaming stands for bold and light and aware, mature, insightful, nurturing, grateful. Light stands for loving, intelligent, generous, honest, and tactful. Let me say this before I get started. Welcome to my channel where I talk about my personal experiences, relate them to song lyrics, and the song lyrics to Bible verses to make it make sense in today's society. However, for purposes of this video, I don't have a song. I don't have a real message to deliver today. I'm just gonna free flow because I feel like there's been a lot of things happening in the world, and Sunnies, I want you to pay attention to not only just what's happening in the world, but what's happening in your environment as well. If you have been facing spiritual attacks, or you feel like people have just been weird or awkward, Mercury retrograde is real. The planets have a lot to do with how human behavior goes. So that's why it's important for you to stay balanced, right, and mature and aware in the situation that you're in. Also, a lot of people are being revealed in this moment. The tide is turning, right? The tables are turning. Well, they've turned in a lot of situations. And karma is coming back 100-fold. That's what God told me, like 100 times heavier than what was dished out to you. So all the betrayal, the backstabbing, the fake love, the fake support, all of that is being returned to sender times 100. And all we can really do is pray for these people. I have just decided to lift them on up to the Lord, and I have left it there. I'm not doing anything else. And it's not because, it's not me being vindictive or mean, but it's like I've already prayed for these people on so many other occasions, and they kept playing this dirty ass hand. So I left them on up to the Lord, and I left it there. Yeah, I like to say that a lot. My dad was like, "You say that a lot." I like that. Sebastian has gas. Yeah, I gave him Chick-fil-A because I felt like a bad parent. Now he's out here just passing gas. But just be mindful in this hour, in this moment in time. There's a lot of people who are experiencing a lot of karma right now. And like I said, you can pray for your enemies. You can lift them on up to the Lord. Like you decide how you feel is more comfortable, or the best solution for you to handle it, right? I think that me personally, knowing everything that I know and like the people that were involved, and it's crazy because like I'm getting chills right now. It's crazy because it's like you could have like 50 people coming to attack you at one point in time, but then you have like 500 people that you're not even aware of that like still remember you. You know what I'm saying? Like people that you made a connection with and just like was just true and just honest and genuine with it, and they remember that. They remember that about you. And so like they're standing up for you in this moment. So we have to give a big round of applause. Yes! To all the real true G's out here. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of fake love tried to come through, but a lot of people stood in your favor, and it's like they could only do so much. And I understand, like, when you're not in contact with people for a long period of time, there's only so much you can do or say. Like you don't want to like reach out to someone randomly and say, hey, like this is what's going on. But you know what I mean? Like people will give you clues and hints, and just for you to kind of move and navigate throughout the day and throughout the situation. And with me personally, and I'm sure a lot of you Sunnies can resonate with this, a lot of it was just jealousy. It was pure jealousy. It was jealousy of just where I was at in life, jealousy of just like me just being me. A lot of people are so uncomfortable in their own skin, that they feel like they have to be someone else. And that's a really sad place to be. You don't ever want to feel like you can't be yourself, or people only like a certain version of you. You know, I feel like that about this friend. I found out that this one particular ex-friend, I shouldn't even call her a friend. I would say she was an associate. There's one particular associate of mine that I'll like briefly hang out with. I was introduced to her by a mutual friend. The mutual friend, from what I know, doesn't really keep in contact with her. But Sebastian, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. My son likes to get into everything. But she was making things difficult for me and just like gossiping and slandering my name, because she was just, I don't know if like she was mad because I came home and like leveled up. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And she was like here trying to level. I don't know. Like I can't pinpoint why people are jealous or why people do the things they do, you know, but it just reflects on how ugly that person is on the inside. And then when I found out more information about her, that she actually slept with her ex-boyfriend's brother, it's kind of like, well, that's all I needed to hear. That shows me her character. Shows me a character. You know, I'm not going to say like I've been perfect, right? No one's an angel. No one. We try our best to be good, positive influences, but along the way in life, as humans, we make mistakes. That's just a part of the human experience. You're going to make mistakes. But it's like there are certain mistakes or certain lines that you should not cross. There are certain boundaries that should not cross. And what people do a lot of times, Sunnies, is be aware. Like, I'm not saying everybody who wants to help you is against you, but a lot of people who do come with that helping hand come with an ulterior motive. They come at your lowest moments so they can get more information about you. People have to catch you when your defenses are down and you're vulnerable to take advantage of you, because they know that if you're on top of it, they can't slither and snake you. They know that. So that's why you always kind of have to be in this human experience mentally strong. You have to be strong to the core. Like, you cannot go to a point in this experience and really just break down and crumble. And I'm saying I did that, and this is what I'm saying. Hold to that. So hopefully you won't have to go through that. Okay? Like, I did that. I took that L for you. So hopefully me sharing my experiences with you, you don't have to do that. You don't have to go through that. I realized another thing is, like, we put so many demands on people, and we get caught up in this space of being, I'm sorry, the incense are really burning, of being people pleasers. They're just gonna burn. It's the way the air is hitting it. Oh gosh. I was like really burning right now. Let me move them over. All right, there we go. I have to clean up all this. Still not? Okay. So I lost my train of thought. What was I saying in this human experience? Oh, being caught up in people pleasers. You know, we get caught up in other people's expectations of us. What we think they want to see from us, how we should act, right? And then that's where these masks come from. These masks come from people's expectations of us, or how we feel like we should act in this environment. But it's just like, just be true to you. But if the true you has a ugly demeanor or an ugly character, then it's like, why? Why aren't you healed? Why are you still hurting? And I think we put a lot of emphasis on Black women, you know, just to speak to my personal experiences, that we can't feel our emotions, because God forbid you feel some type of way and now you look like the angry Black woman, or God forbid you feel some type of way and now, you know, you're playing victim. Those are like the societal constraints against Black women, right? And I mean, Black men have a lot harder, but in my opinion, I'm not going to get into that debate. I'm just going to say, I think across the community, we have it hard. And there's some other ethnicities that have it bad too, but I feel like we have it hard. We have it really tough. Sebastian, can you please stop? So a lot of Black women get caught up in this thing. It's like, with our home environments being broken, like a lot of us, not a lot of us, but majority, dang, I don't want to put a number to it because I feel like if I quantify it, I don't really have statistics to back it up. So I'm not going to put a number to it. I'm going to say it is known in the Black community. That's a better way for me to say it instead of putting a quantity to it. It is known in the Black community that we have absentee fathers. And when you have a household where the father or the mother is absent, then the child grows up with abandonment issues, right? And so when you have these abandonment issues, you have this void because you haven't dealt with the work within to heal. So you have this void and you're trying to fill this void. And so a lot of times when you have this void, you're looking for outside sources of love to fill the void, right? And however way you feel like you can get that. And it could come with a lot of things. It could come with like addiction to drugs, sex, shopping. It could be people, alcoholics. Some people like just toss themselves into work to like, forget about it. So it becomes like something, a void that you need to fill. But as you get older, like things start to look different for you, right? So like at some point you probably have your own family and you're trying to break the generational cycles and curses, but sometimes you get into a family situation before you healed. And so you find yourself in that pattern again. Or you don't heal, right? And you're continuing to look for this love to fill this void and you never do, you never find it. And you just keep repeating the same cycle over and over and over. And another bad thing or something else, I would say negative trait that can come with the abandonment issue is that you try to make other people jealous. Like you intentionally do things, purposely do things for attention. Like there's the attention seeking behaviors, or there is like, you want a reaction because if someone gives you a reaction, and that means that they care. Do you see how abandonment can really mess with someone's mind? And then don't forget, add on top of you have these inner issues that you're dealing with on top of societal pressures, like the pressure to get married, to be a homeowner, to be a mom or a husband or a dad. You know what I'm saying? To hold down a successful job, to have a title. So many pressures. People crack very easily. And sometimes they crack into these addictions. They crack under the pressure and like they try to do this jealousy thing with other people. They crack in different ways. So it's like, how are you going to prevent the cracking? How are you going to prevent yourself from not using crack? Some people, y'all, I did not know crack was like that. I didn't know like crack was like it's popping. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? But like I didn't know people like really are out here still. People are really using crack. See what happens is too, you have these abandonment issues. This is just a scenario, right? You have these abandonment issues, but you go to school, you get like all these degrees. You're at the top level. Graduate with a doctor degree, a medical degree, or a law degree. A psychology degree, a PhD, a master's, whatever, right? You graduate with a good degree. Then, sometimes you are introduced to toxic people in that field because not everybody in all these fields are wholesome. And then that could even go to like, use that in relevance to the music industry or to the fashion industry or acting or whatever, right? Business, finances, whatever it is. Every place you turn, you're going to have like toxicity in someone. Someone's going to have like a toxic trait. Or you're going to you'll find people with a toxic trait at some point. Because if you are perpetuating toxicity, you're going to attract toxicity, right? That's like if you are perpetuating hell, you're going to attract hell. Sometimes peace is attracted to hell, but that's because there's issues there. So, whereas a lot of people I find that have like the peace who are attracted to hell have the Superman complex, like they want to save someone. It's like you can't. People have to want to save themselves. So you get these. You're in this industry. You're at the top of your game. And then somebody else comes along, somebody new, somebody younger, somebody with a fresher vision, new perspective, insight, right? Full of tenacity. And you're finding you're like, who is, like, you know, you were the top person, now somebody else is the top person. And if you don't heal those inner issues or inner wounds, that person in your mind becomes a threat. When they're just coming in, just happy to be here, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, just happy to be here. But in your mind, you perceive them as a threat. And then you start to plot. When you find yourself plotting on someone else's downfall, I think that's when you take a step back and look at yourself. Why does someone else's downfall have to be your uprising? Let's not so there is no possibility of you educating yourself more, you know what I mean? Like doing a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie, in my field, I'm burnt out. And then it just is what it is. And I can tell that some of the people that I work with, I would say like some of the like assistants and aides that I work with, they're kind of like, okay, here she goes. Like, this is what she's doing today. Like, okay, we done this like two. But it's like, I'm burnt out. Like, I don't think you guys, like, in my field, I'm like, these are people who are fresh-eyed, bushy-tailed. Like, they're just graduating, right? This is, like, exciting them. Like, I was there about 10, 12 years ago. I was excited, too. And then when you do it for so long, you burn yourself out trying to create activities, do new things, trying to play. It burns you out. So to get through the year, you're like, okay, we're just gonna have to use this activity and come up with like 12 different ways to reach these kids' goals, because planning different activities on a consistent basis on top of all the other duties is not feasible. Not to sustain for a long term. That's hard. And I don't think people realize that. And it's like when you are getting into the field, when you first get into that, it's like you can't see that perspective until you've done it for a while. And you're like, oh, I get why she kind of did the same activity for like the first 2 days of the week, and then she switched it up. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't see that in that point, because it's like, this is what you've been taught. You've been taught to be creative and come up with these ideas. And not saying that's not fun. It is, but that gets tiring. That burns you out. That's the quickest way to get a burnout. So when people come with fresh ideas to me, I really do like one of my assistants. She gave me this new website. I was like, oh, I never knew about this. Like, I appreciate the fresh ideas, the fresh perspectives. Am I going to go and create something new? No, just because I don't have the passion for it in that way that I did. My passion lies in other things at this moment. But I enjoy my career field. I do enjoy what I do. It's just that I don't have that creative spark in that area. And the population I work in, it's like they barely want to come and see me anyway. So like, why am I still coming to speech? I'm like, oh, your mom wants you to, you know, but it's like, it is what it is. So yeah, I think, you know, that's just my personal experience. You know, I think it's just how you look at it. Instead of trying to plot someone's downfall or be upset, how about you change your perspective? How about you take it and look at it from the other person's point of view? I think that's something that, you know, in my sessions, I teach kids a lot who have like social language issues. It's called pragmatic language. When they have a social language deficit, we find this with kids with autism, Down syndrome. What else? Oh, there's some other disabilities. I can't think of them. But like autism is like the biggest one that has like social language deficits. And so I I talk about perspective taking, like looking at the other person's point of view. We also talk about like the moral of the story. Like, what did you learn? What did you learn from the story? What was the lesson? What would you have done differently? We also talk about like simple things during conversations, like mannerisms, body language, tone of voice, picking up on those things, picking up when someone is angry, picking up when someone is sad. That tells you a lot about someone's energy as well. Like when you hear that tone of voice, that's like Sonny's, when you were little and your mom would yell at you, or not even yell at you, you know she would come in upset. You just know from the tone, like, oh, okay, she's upset. I can't ask her to go to the movies tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew. So it's like using those same skills in everyday life, in everyday situations. But perspective taking, that is a huge and invaluable skill to learn. Understanding someone else's point of view, giving them the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes it's not, you can't change other people. Like, you can't change people. Like my assistant, she can't change me. And the previous one I had, oh, that dude, Chris, I don't like him. Anyway, like, you can't change me. You can't make me do something that you want me to do. All you can do is ask. You can inquire and say, hey, like, why do you do it like this? To understand my perspective. And then I would explain it to you. And then that would be it. But see, people don't want to do that. They just feel like they can change you. They can control you. And people who feel like they can change or control you are people who can't control the things that they truly want in their life. People who may be still struggling with abandonment issues. You know, some people get mad at you just because if you like have a parent that's present. Like, you know, some people get mad. Some people get mad if you have both parents in the house. For me, when I was growing up, it was an honor to go to a friend's house who had both parents, just so I can see the family dynamic. And like, okay, am I missing out on anything? Like, that's how deep of a thinker I was as a child. Like, looking at the parent dynamic, the family dynamic, and seeing like, what was the difference? Like, that's what I would do. But some people don't do that. They keep it surface level. Go deep. Dig deep. Why are you in this space in life? If you're in this space, you're either on you're in either side of the coin, right? You're either on the heads where like you're headed in the right direction, you're going the right way, you understand life, you are able to understand people's perspective, you don't take things personally, you keep it moving. You know, if there's an issue, you address it in a mature way and you keep it moving. Or you're on the tail side of things. You're making an ass out yourself. Out here looking foolish, trying to control the narrative, trying to control people, gossiping, spreading malicious rumors, lies. No growth, no maturity, stuck in one position. Maybe you're still stuck in high school. Maybe you're still stuck in college, grad school. But you're stuck. And you're wondering why you keep repeating the same patterns. So which one are you? Are you with heads in life? Or are you tails? And I'm going to say that's Sunny vibes on that. Be me like your community, spread love, light, and positivity. Pay it forward with random act of kindness. Be grateful, be humble. Sunny's, I love you. Yes. Oh, and I wanted to share something with you. I got chills right now. God told me earlier today. I actually recorded it, but I didn't post it. He told me that the enemies are scrambling. All right. So pay attention. Be alert. Be aware. They're trying to make things right, but God said it's too late. All right, Sunnies. Until the next time.